Hi everyone. For this assignment, we're going to create what's called a boxed eave. It's an kind of an appendage of something we put on our overhangs. So what that looks like is something like this. It's this part underneath the roof that we're going to box out all the way around the house. And for that to happen, we need to create a profile. So we need to create a family, put that into our project, apply it, and put it on. I'll show how it's done. First thing we need to do is create a new family. So for that to happen, we got to go down to where it says families and create new. And here you're presented with some templates. The one we want to look for is one that's called profile. You got a few to choose from though. You got all these things to choose from, but we'll just take this one profile for now. It's going to work just fine. Open it up. You're going to be presented with one view because this is going to be a 2D based profile. Once we bring it into Revit or to your project, it's going to become 3D. So what we need to do is establish some parameters and some lines. Up under Create, you have a line tool. You click this. And then you've got some tools to work from. What we want to do is start from the center of these two reference planes where they join. You see it kind of snaps to this point. Click here. We're going to drag our mouse up to somewhere around here. It doesn't really matter. We just want some angle to this line. And then we're going to go straight down and go straight over till we meet the vertical reference plane. And then back up to end the loop. So you should end with 4 lines that look something like this. Next we want to do is put some dimensions on it. So up under, there you go, Create. Aligned is the dimension tool we want to use. Select your vertical reference plane first, and then this vertical line to the far left. Put a dimension on it. Finish that dimension off. We're going to do it again to the horizontal line here, like that. And then one last dimension. This dimension is not going to be the one we just did. It's going to be an angular one, like this. It's going to go from this reference plane to this line here. We'll click there, like that. So that measures the angle. Basically, we're going to change this angle to read as the roof pitch in our project. And for this dimension and this dimension, we need to apply what's called a label. That label becomes a parameter, which means you can control it in your project. You can alter this dimension in your project. So let's click this dimension first. Once you have this selected, dialog box or a drop-down menu will appear. It'll say none because we haven't created anything yet. So we're going to click this button to the right, create parameter, like that. And here you're going to type in the name of the parameter. We're going to call it fascia, because that's what they call it at the end of the roof. It's called a fascia board. Basically what this is, simulates the end of the roof. You can see the roof goes up this way. So that's the edge of it. Click OK. This one here will represent the overhang, the eave overhang. So once you select that dimension, click this button again, create parameter. We're calling it this eave overhang, like that. And leave them all as type parameters. You see, you can switch from instance to type. We're going to leave them all as type, like that. And just to clean this up, once you've created this label, you can now select the dimension once, and then you can select the either click up here where the name is or the number is one more time, and you can type in a dimension. The dimension we want to type in is 3 foot, 11 inches, and 1/8. You can see a space in between. That way Revit knows that I go from feet to inches to a fraction inch. 3 foot, 11 and 1/8, like that. This one we're going to change to 1 inch. So I do the same thing again. I select the dimension, click where the name is or the number is. I'm going to change that to 1 inch. This one, we're going to create a label as well. For this label, we are going to do the same thing, create parameter. And for this, we're just going to call it angle. And I'm going to lowercase the angle. Reason being is that then I know that this parameter is being controlled somewhere else, because it's going to need a formula. We're going to leave it as type. We're going to group this parameter under constraints, like that. All you have to do is click this dialog box, drop down box, and find constraints and select it. Click OK. And now you have a label on this angle as well. These labels we create, you can gain access to them either by clicking here to manipulate them, or you can click this button up here that says family types. It's these gray rectangles, or 2 rectangles and a square with these 4 blue boxes. It's going to open up this dialog box. And here you have all the labels you created. You got angle, you overhang, and fascia. So you can see I grouped the angle underneath constraints because I want this away from the dimensions. These are basically the dimensions you're going to be controlling in your project. This is going to do something else, and I'll show you what that is. We're going to create a new parameter while we're in here. The one parameter we're going to create is called roof pitch. So down here at the bottom, you click this little button. Looks like a page with a little star on it, or a little sun. It prompts this dialog box, very similar to the one we saw before. We're going to call this one roof pitch. Click OK. Boom. And it's here. 0 feet by 0 inches. Just leave it like that for now. You know what? Let's change that to 3 inches. So 0 space 3 inches. Then we'll have some value to play with. So, okay, so roof pitch, 3 inches. Now comes the magic. So we need this angle to read the roof pitch, right? So a roof pitch is 3 inches. That means that for every 12-inch horizontal run, we need to go up 3 inches. And that defines basically a triangle that defines our pitch. Just like this, right? Going this way. So every 1 foot going this way, we go up 3 inches. Another foot, 3 inches. Another foot, 3 inches. That's what that means. So we're going to have to convert these 3 inches into degrees. And to do that, we need to type in a bit of math. Not too much. We're going to type in an A tangent. So A-T-A-N parentheses, the roof pitch divided by a foot, like that. That's what that should look like. So what it does, it takes the roof pitch down here, takes the tangent of it, divides it by a foot, like that. That means that 3 inches equals 14.04 degrees. So if we change this to say 4 inches, this one changes also, and you'll see change that pitch as well. That's how that works. So that basically means that the user, once he starts manipulating your profile in the project, he's not going to be able to manipulate this. He's just going to type in a roof pitch, right? So that's exactly the way you create a roof in Revit. Go ahead and save that. So when we're done, go ahead and save it. For me, I'll just save it on the desktop. And I'll call it PFL, short for profile, _ Eve. Like that. Once that's done, we'll jump to video 2, where I'll teach you how to apply it, and you'll see the difference.